So today I'm here with Rahul Patel, one of the managing partners here at Patel Gains, and today we're going to learn about property tax. So how would you define a good value?
Well, good value is first and foremost, find out what the value is and find out what that increase looked like. A lot of folks get some advice that says my property only went up 1 or 2% or 5%, so therefore I had a really good value. But you really want to study what happened to your property and the profit and loss statement from the year before. So if you had a much better year, then that could be a good value. If you had a worse year the year before, say your business was down 15-20%, well then that increase may not actually be a good value. So take a look at the numbers themselves. And number two, remember, you have the right to be equally and uniformly appraised with those properties that are similarly situated as yours. So if you have that information, then you can find out if that's a good value. If not, ask your consultant, ask your tax lawyer for that information, because then and only then will you know if you have a good value.
Good to know. So I know that there are a lot of moving pieces to protesting, but how do I know whether or not to accept my value after the informal hearing?
Good question. So a lot of folks believe that they don't have an option or they're afraid of the next option. So number one, as far as the value, it's the same applies from what I just said. You really have to look at the value and find out if it makes sense for you or not. If not, don't be afraid to go to the ARB. A lot of times, if you have a good relationship or you have a good conversation with the appraiser may even offer that value at the ARB hearing. But really, if you're not happy with the value, you're just not sure, or you presented good information to substantiate the lower value and you weren't able to get that, then give yourself a shot and go to the ARB.
Good to know. So let's say I deny and go to the ARB hearing and I still don't get the value I'm looking for. What next?
Well, so after you have your hearing, you'll receive an ARB order, an order determining protest, sometime in the mail. So when you get that, you have 60 days from the date you receive that in order to kind of elect your options. So number one, you have an option of just not doing anything and accepting that value. Number two, you can either go to binding or you can go to binding arbitration. A lot of folks feel comfortable in arbitration, like to represent themselves and feel like that's a good option for them. But the third option is district court. So a lot of folks contact attorneys just like us to help them through that process. So if you or anyone has a question, don't ever hesitate to reach out to a member of our team. You can email us at protests@patelgains.com. Happy to answer your questions to give you a good picture of what litigation could cost.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really love learning about property tax.
No problem, anytime.